President Trump was able to pull off, which I think caught everyone off guard. And, of course, that is MAGA Mike Johnson becoming the Speaker of the House. I mean, who would have thought that that was even possible, what President Trump did? It was so insane. So we're going to talk about that and take your calls, and it's really a day to celebrate. All right, stand by. We're coming on the air in just seconds. If you're new, subscribe. You'll love this channel. This is where MAGA comes to talk. This is the most pro-MAGA Donald Trump place anywhere. Here we go.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Welcome to the program. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Oh, man, do we have so much to cover today. I'm so excited. You know, this new Speaker of the House we have, MAGA Mike Johnson. You know, what happened yesterday was absolutely amazing. Donald Trump pulled this off while he's dealing with this kook lunatic judge in New York, holding him in contempt, calling him the witness stand, bringing up that sleazy Michael Cohen and all these things. And while all that distraction is going on, he gives us the Speaker of the House. And let me tell you, what happened with President Trump in court in New York, that was no coincidence that all happened yesterday while this great moment was happening in the House of Representatives with the most conservative Christian MAGA person you could possibly imagine becoming the Speaker of the House. By the way, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to the calls in a bit. But we got to lay the premise out of this celebration that we're going to have on the program this morning with MAGA Mike Johnson, our new Speaker of the House. So what happened yesterday with this Speaker is more historic and significant than Newt Gingrich when he became Speaker. I mean, this guy is the real deal. You know, Newt Gingrich had wives everywhere, screwing around, messing up, cheating on his wife, and doing all this stuff. You know, he had a checkered past and a background and all this stuff. And then he gets tossed out of Congress, and then Newt goes and makes global warming commercials with Pelosi. Remember that? Oh my goodness. This guy's the real deal. We've never had someone in any of our lifetimes that's this conservative, and he's a normal guy just like us. He's not one of these people that comes from the political class, and that's just amazing. And all this nonsense that creepy judge with this bizarre situation with his female clerk sitting next to him like it's his girlfriend or wife. I mean, my goodness, if I had a woman I worked with sitting next to me like that, which I've never seen a clerk do in a courtroom before, my wife would be like, what is that all about? Yeah. But the reason that Democrat hack, corrupt judge put President Trump through all that yesterday was to try to get a narrative about Trump going in the news cycle and a distraction of Trump's mind and everything else and attention while this historic moment was going on in the House of Representatives yesterday. So it's not a coincidence. This is just a beautiful thing. And, you know, here's what happened. And, well, a lot of things have happened, and we don't have the full story yet with MAGA Mike Johnson. But a lot of what happened is this. The Democrats have gone so far over the edge of liberalism. I mean, they've just gone off the cliff. The Democrats have gone so far to the left that it's not even on a scale that you can measure with their stupidity. All right? It didn't help that they had to lead an insurrection on the Capitol. We got some updates on these Democrats and all that business coming up too, but they are on the wrong side of everything. They've got very bizarre issues going on, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go through a list. And what happens is this. when one political side, the left, when they get so extreme, and everything's a failure because of what's going on in our economy and everything else, when they go so extreme, you always snap back to the right. And Mike Johnson is in large part a reaction to the extreme lunacy of the left. You know, just like President Trump, you know, I know he seems like a Reagan conservative compared to this lunatics that are running things now, but Barack Obama was a very socialist, destructive president, and we're feeling a lot of the pain from his destruction now in this country. But he was so radical and liberal in his 8 years that America snapped back to the right, and that's what happened with President Trump when he came down the escalator. And a similar thing happened yesterday with Mike Johnson. And, you know, Johnson, I don't know too much about him. You know, he's one of those guys who's kind of like a behind-the-scenes player. You see him every once in a while. You know nothing about him. And then all of a sudden, he's at the top and you know all about him. And he is absolutely amazing. I learned a lot about him yesterday. And there's nothing about this guy that I could see a conservative MAGA person being able to criticize. He's not just a Christian. He lives it. He's not one of these politicians like Mike Pence that go around wearing it on their sleeve for conservative virtue signaling and gaslighting. I mean, he's like the real deal. A little bit later, I'm going to go through some of his background and bio because he's new to most everybody. I know a lot of people that have jobs like mine are going to pretend, oh, I remember Mike Johnson back. They're all liars. They read Wikipedia, and now they're pretending, okay? This guy was a behind-the-scenes player to us, very active if you were in Congress, but most of us had no idea who he was, even if you'd seen him on television from time to time. He was vaguely familiar to me, but I didn't realize how MAGA the guy was until yesterday as this was all going down. And the question I really have, and I don't know if we'll ever get the answer to this, was Mike Johnson always in the plan to be the speaker by President Trump and Matt Gaetz? You know, we went like 3 weeks without a speaker, and it was great. And I was comfortable going 3 more years without a speaker, tell you the truth. But Matt Gaetz has been taking a lot of heat from a lot of people. Oh, he screwed it up. He messed it up, Matt Gaetz. He had no plan. We're speakerless. We're looking like fools, blah, blah, blah. And then this happened yesterday, which seems like a miracle. It's too great to just be a coincidence. This guy's as MAGA as any of us are. He's as MAGA as Trump. And a lot of good things and great things are going to happen because of it. So at what point do you think Matt Gaetz and President Trump knew that Johnson was going to be the speaker? Was this their guy all along? Were these other people we heard about and were put up and everything else? Was that just a show and Matt Gaetz and Trump always, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, always planned on Mike Johnson? Or is this just some last-minute thing that happened? It seems too good to be some last-minute thing that happened. So your thoughts on all of that are certainly welcome. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll go to the calls after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Oh, man. Now, guys, order your Mighty Maga Lion. There is a whole shipment going out today, and if you order during the show today, your Mighty Maga Lion will ship out this morning with the rest. I woke up this morning, we had gotten a massive amount of orders yesterday afternoon and last night after I went to bed from my live stream yesterday afternoon. And I boxed those up this morning before I came to the radio station. And I already had a shipment ready to go before that. So I've got a massive shipment of Mighty Maga Lions that are going out today. And if you order during the show today at MightyMagaLion.com, there's a link in the description, MightyMagaLion.com, your Mighty Maga Lion will be added to that shipment going out later this morning. So go to MightyMagaLion.com, order yours. Remember, this is the only Trump-inspired product like this with the MAGA hat on. It's pretty amazing, huh? And, of course, this is available exclusively through me at MightyMagaLion.com. Order yours. Isn't it cute? Great Christmas gift. And great gift for yourself, too. Your significant other. I know our cat, she likes to cuddle up with the Mighty Maga Lion, Luna. But it makes a great Christmas gift for anyone on your Christmas gift-giving list. MightyMagaLion.com. Order yours, and it will go out this morning. Yes. Oh, yeah, Rome put the... I'm going to pin... Rome just put the link there, and I just pinned it to the top. There you go. So you can click that link and order yours. Oh, well, let me just sign off, Engine 49 guy, and we'll just go watch The War Room. Oh, okay. I'll just end the show now. We'll go watch The War Room. No, whoever that is, they don't know how it happened. This is an absolutely amazing thing. Oh, yeah, well, let's just, let's just go, let's just me sign off and we'll go watch Gates. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. No, it's an absolute miracle. I mean, we could not have picked someone better than this. Couldn't have happened. It just could not have happened. We could not have picked someone better than this. Sabrina, a member for 14 months. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys, if you become a member, you get access to all those cool emojis, and your number or your name is in a different color, so you stand out in the chat.
Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM. The Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM. Hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM. Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM. And anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
Yes, we are back. I'm Brian. Call us on hold, stand by. It is Medicare open enrollment period, the only time of year that you can make changes to your Medicare policy. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help you with your Medicare. She helps Steve each and every year. Steve had a prescription that wasn't covered on his Medicare policy. It cost more than an ounce of gold. It was $2,000 plus a month, right? He called Debbie at I Will Advisors. She took care of it. It's now covered under his Medicare policy. If you have a supplement, she'll make sure you're not paying too much. If you need a supplement, she'll make sure you get the best deal. She'll make sure your doctors, specialists, and prescriptions are all covered for next year. And if you don't make changes during open enrollment, you're stuck with what you got until next year. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. Now, if you call early in the morning like now, leave a message, and Debbie, they will call you back. Here's the number, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. We are celebrating our MAGA Speaker of the House. Oh, man. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, can I give you a little update on the mass shooting in Maine?
Okay. Yeah, since that's where you're at, what's the latest?
At least 16 people have been reported killed and up to 50 wounded by a gunman opening fire at a bowling alley and a bar in Lewiston, Maine, which is Maine's second largest town. The police have named Robert Card as a person of interest and should be considered armed and dangerous. The sad thing is this guy was a reservist. He was a firearms instructor at a U.S. Army Reserve training facility in Saco, Maine. And that last summer he had a mental health issue and was treated and had threatened a shooting. So how did this guy ever keep up?
Well, when he threatened to do shooting, what was the venue he was in? Like, who heard this?
This must have been done through the military.
Oh.
He's military, so he must have gone through military mental health issues.
Yeah.
think they should have pulled his right for guns.
Well, they probably should have. They probably should have committed him and given him a head examination at the time. But you know what? There was that mass shooting at Fort Hood, which was a terrorist attack by Nadal Hassan, Major Nadal Hassan, but he was in Virginia. He was speaking to a group of officers in the medical corps and the army, and was talking about jihad. And they promoted him to major, transferred him to Fort Hood, and he did. So the military has. That's the second mass shooting that I know of where the military could have prevented it and did not.
Exactly, Brian. And this guy drove his car and they found it near a boat launch, abandoned. So he took off. Maine is so full of woods, it might take him a while, but we need to pray for the safety of our law enforcement and the success of immediate apprehension.
Absolutely.
This guy's a danger to the community, but thank you for letting...
How far away are you from the area where it happened? Because you're in Maine.
I'm probably an hour and a half from Lewiston.
Okay. Usually these guys don't get far. They're closer than you. You know, I remember when Johnny Versace was murdered here in Miami on South Beach in front of his mansion. There were sightings all over Florida of the shooter, and he was just like a couple miles away. They're usually within a 5-mile radius of the incident.
A lot of times they find these people after having committed suicide. A lot of times that happens too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It'll be harder to find them if that happened. You agree?
No, not necessarily. Depends on where he did it. If it's outside, someone eventually will smell it. He couldn't have gotten too far out in the woods yet. No. I'd probably make it easier. All right, Jeff, appreciate the update. Thanks for the call.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Mike Johnson was a heck of a pick for Speaker of the House. Everything he said after his election was spot.
Mm-hmm.
A sound constitutionalist. President Trump fully endorsed him, and this guy seems like he was the best pick.
Well, it seems to me, what I'm believing is that President Trump picked this guy. Okay, and I just we're never going to know, because I don't think Gates and them are going to let us know anytime soon. But at some point, I'd like to find out when exactly did this happen. I'm wondering if this was their pick before they removed McCarthy.
Or before, yeah. And how long will it take the left to start attacking him and trying to?
They're already doing it. They're already doing it.
Yeah, isn't that just typical of the left? Instead of trying to join together and do good, and this guy's got a squeaky clean record. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jeff, take care. Good to talk to you. Thanks for the update. All right, let's go. He's our reporter on the spot in Maine. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara in Baltimore.
Hey, Barbara.
Hey, I think you're right. That's exactly what I thought yesterday when he got on. But, it was like one vote and solid. All of the Republicans voted for him. It was like planned. They put up all the people that the rhinos would squawk about and raise fan about, and then, of course, all these weak Republicans crying all over the place about the chaos and the this and the that, which what was happening is what really should have happened a long time ago, that these Republicans grew some cojones and did what they had to do.
And let me tell you, the Bill Kristol, that snake, Trump-hating Republican snob, he's a member of an organization called Republicans for Ukraine. It's an organization of war profiteers, and they gave Mike Johnson a negative score so far as his support for Ukraine. He's in charge of all the government funding. The Ukraine funding is over.
Well, but I heard something from Matt Gaetz yesterday that seems to confirm what you're thinking about them. Donald Trump, Gaetz, all of the 8, everyone who was in on stopping and getting rid of McCarthy, I think they knew the way they wanted to go.
Yeah.
And Matt Gaetz said yesterday, he said what happened, it happened so quickly, Kevin McCarthy didn't have time. stop it. And I do believe that. He just, he was so busy focusing on getting rid of Byron Donalds and Jim Jordan. And Matt Gaetz said that he was the one that was really supporting all of these people up front, but in those closed-door meetings.
Mm-hmm. I think this is amazing, and this guy's too perfect for it just to have happened at the last minute.
Absolutely, and we get to keep Jim Jordan doing what he does best.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to do what they do best. And here we've got a guy, and I really like him. I mean, I heard him talk before where he was maybe grilling Mayorkas or some of those other creeps, where, he really acts very...
Well, I've seen him once or twice, but I despise anybody in Congress. I don't like any of them except like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, even my own congressman. I got a Democrat, the jerk. So, I didn't know too much about Mike Johnson until yesterday afternoon, like most everybody else, okay? I've gone back and listened to things that he said and read up on him a little bit, and he's like, perfect.
All right.
I'm
happy about it, and you have a great rest of your week.
Absolutely. All right, take care. And those of you on hold, stand by. Let me give out the number. I want to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, MAGA Mike Johnson. I mean, how do you think this happened? At what point did Matt Gaetz and President Trump know this was going to be the guy? Did they know all along? Was Mike Johnson, Matt Gaetz, and Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene's pick before they got rid of Kevin McCarthy? Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know, by the way, in the chat. I'm very curious. How long have you been watching me here on YouTube or listening to me on the radio? How long? I'm curious. Oh, yeah. This is, the guy's perfect. It does not get better than this. It really does not. Now, listen, guys, somebody else that needs your help is the great Mike Lindell. And there are huge specials going on at MyPillow.com with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And, he has a new upgraded MyPillow towel. That's right. And it's available in a whole bunch of new colors. And the brand new updated that are even more absorbent than the original MyPillow My Towels are 50% off with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. I have the MyPillow towels. I told my wife yesterday to order a new set of the new ones. They are 50% off, and we ordered a set for my daughter out in California. We're sending to her 50% off at MyPillow.com with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. That is an incredible deal. So order your MyPillow towels. And remember, you can take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, not just the ones I talk about. 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. Wow, that's awesome. Since 2015, almost 3 years, 8 years, 8 months, 3 to 4 months. Stephen Wilson, wow, 2 years, 2019, Rome, Wisconsin. 3 years, 4 years, 8 years. Wow, that's great. This is our bottom of the hour break. Since my cat was stolen, oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think so, Faith. Faith Martin says, I read that he hid his religious side until elected. I don't know about that. This guy has, I don't think he could hide it. 1 year, Albert. Welcome. John Schultz, 6 months. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I got a sneeze coming on, guys. So bear with me. Hold on a second. I tried to take the mic off so I didn't sneeze into the mic. 5 months, Cat Mullins. It's the air conditioners over my head. No, I don't think he hit it at all. Oh, we all miss Rush. 2014, Greg B. Wow. Belfast, Northern Ireland in the UK. Samantha, welcome. Biloxi, 2019, 4 years. 4 years, 4 years. April 2020. Kentucky, Beverly Jackson, welcome. I got to get over the sinuses before I get back on the air. No, I agree, Katina. I don't think he hid his religious beliefs at all. Southern Utah since 2022. Welcome, Eric. Eric Pickett. I've never seen the government work as fast as it worked getting his name up on the wall for the Speaker's office. Have you ever seen government work that fast? You know, YouTube has made an update when you hit the on the desktop. I don't know if it's available on mobile. It might be. When you hit the like or subscribe button, when I say like the video or please subscribe, they got an AI that will have the little subscribe and like button light up. Let me know if you've seen that on your device or your desktop. It may not be available to everybody yet, but if I say please subscribe to my channel and like the video, those buttons will light up eventually for everybody. All right.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Callers on hold, standby. I know some of you have been on hold for quite some time, and I'm getting to the calls as the fastest I possibly can, in the order that in the order that they will receive the best that I can as well too. I'm starting to wonder, MAGA Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. They had his plaque with his name above the Speaker's office, like, immediately. Have you ever seen the government of the United States work as fast as that on anything? And I'll tell you another thing, too. I did a live stream on YouTube yesterday afternoon. And those of you that follow me on YouTube, you know I do this, but those that don't, you should. Brian Craig Show on YouTube. I live stream and do shows on YouTube all the time where I take live calls just like I do here on the weekend, sometimes during the week, and my podcast put it there too. But I did a live stream with live calls yesterday as soon as this happened, and we've been on the air now for 35 minutes. And you know who we've not heard from? Mike in Louisiana, which is unusual, right? And what I'm starting to wonder is MAGA Mike Johnson our Mike from Louisiana, because he's a congressman from Louisiana? Is Mike in Louisiana MAGA Mike Johnson from Louisiana, the Speaker of the House? I haven't heard from him since this happened. If it's true, I'm going to have to start being a little nicer to Mike from Louisiana. I don't know. We'll find out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, my goodness. Here you go. So I don't know. Mike, are you, MAGA Mike Johnson is also Mike from Louisiana, our Speaker of the House. Are you the same?
No, he is not my representative.
No. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, are you him? Are you? Oh, well. Okay, so I don't have to start. Okay, so I don't have to start being nicer to you then.
No.
Okay.
I wasn't expected anyway, but yeah, he is not my legislator. And I would be at all surprised if this was a plan from the beginning. And to have this guy, by the way, if you watch how they refer to him, they refer to Mike Johnson as a backbencher, right?
Yeah.
A guy that wasn't even thought of before this whole thing, right? He's a backbencher. So they go for all these people, including the bow tie guy, including the theory from the McCarthy guy that he was going to share the leadership with our friend there, and now we get this guy. This is a guy. Remember, this Mike Johnson is a guy that was helping Trump in his.
Yeah, and he also was representing him during the impeachment. Now let me ask you, because I don't know, maybe we got to change your name to Speaker Mike or something. I don't know. We'll think about that. But in Louisiana, like here in Florida, Matt Gaetz is not my congressman. I wish he was. He's not. But he's legendary and loved in Florida, Matt Gaetz. Is Mike Johnson well known in Louisiana?
Really, I mean, other than the fact that he was he's been with President Trump for a long time. Other than that, he is not well known. I mean, the guy that's really well known is Scalise.
Now, let me ask. I'm not going to answer this question. I want to ask you, and then I'll ask a couple of callers before I give the answer. I'm not going to troll the whole show with this, but Mike Johnson, the left are having complete meltdowns. I mean, they're having Trump derangement syndrome times 10 over Mike Johnson. There are a lot of things they don't like about Mike Johnson, but there is one in particular that drives them nuts and is causing them to have meltdowns. What do you think it is? I know what it is. What do you think it is?
What I think it is the whole thing about subpoenas. Throwing out the subpoenas.
Oh, well, no, that's not the main thing. No, that's something that we're going to be looking forward to, but that's not the main thing. All right, I appreciate the call. Mike from Louisiana, who is not Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House from Louisiana. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana Mark.
Hey, Mark, what's up?
Well, winter came early this year, and yesterday it was already snowing and cold, and when I heard about Mike Johnson, it was like sunshine.
Yeah.
Happy, and so grateful to hear somebody talking about God and bringing good Christian values into the government. So it's amazing.
Now, what do you think the liberals? There's a lot that they're panicked about. There's a lot they don't like. But what do you think is the one thing about Mike Johnson that the liberals hate more than anything?
For me, and what I understand, they don't want to hear about God and Christian values.
Well, that's true, but that's not their main issue with. Before the top, I'll tell you guys soon before the break. I'm not gonna. I hate when people do radio shows and throw out a question to try to fill up the phones. That's called killing time. They have no talent. But no, that's not the main thing. But you're right. It is exciting. It is so exciting. Man, so winter hit early in Montana. It's going to be in the 80s today here in sunny South Florida.
When I got your podcast yesterday, it was 17 degrees.
Oh, my goodness, 17 degrees. If it was 17 degrees in Florida, they would declare a state of emergency and the whole state would get shut down. All right, Mark, take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Pete from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Pete, what's up?
Yeah, I just, I was watching before your podcast come on, before your YouTube show come on. I was watching Matt Gaetz and the firebrand thing, and he was talking about Mike Johnson. And I had liked Mike Johnson when he said something about Nancy Pelosi tearing up the papers in the speech.
Yeah. Well, Mike Johnson said that when Nancy Pelosi tore up the State of the Union, that was a felony. You okay? Did I lose you? Uh-oh. The line went dead. It's like fail-safe with Henry Fonda. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia, you're too far from the phone. You got to pick it up.
How about now? My goodness.
Yeah, you're perfect.
So anyway, I want to give a little inside baseball. Before the election, the midterms, we had a conference call with Tea Party Patriots National, and the Freedom Caucus came on, and they laid out their plan of what they wanted to do. That was to put the rule back in, to vacate the chair, other rules, all kinds of things. I printed it, probably about, 40 pages, 50 pages, whatever it is. And I do believe that this was a coup. They planned this.
Yeah, I do too.
The Freedom Caucus came about because Jim Jordan founded it during the Tea Party days. This was not his first rodeo. He did run for speaker before. We never could get anything done. We couldn't repeal Obamacare. We were all frustrated. And then, of course, Trump came in, and he got hijacked by people like Paul Ryan and Rez Priebus, who was his chief of staff for a little while, the RNC chairman, who, by the way, is now chairing the convention, which is good and bad. I would not.
So you agree with me? You think that Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Trump, they knew it was going to be Mike Johnson before they made the move to get rid of Kevin McCarthy?
Yes, they planned it out. It was perfect, and it's so wonderful. And I'll tell you why. My friend Mike Church, who used to have the Crusade channel at 6 o'clock on Sirius, he was one of the first ones.
Yeah, I used to work with Mike Church at 940 WINS AM radio in Miami years ago. Yeah, I know Mike Church.
So Mike is a wonderful person, and Mike got bumped off because of Breitbart, and they put Steve Bannon Anyway, he now has the Crusade channel in Louisiana. That's where he's from. And he's weighing in all the time. So, the governor, the primary, the guy, Landreau, I think it was Landreau, won, okay, which is a great thing for Louisiana. Louisiana is one of the most pro-life states in the Union. This is no surprise. If you go into Open Secrets and you read about Mike, and you read about the new speaker, you will see where he takes his money. He is a confirmed MAGA conservative. That's what we want. And, when he said he was a Baptist, I'm sure that really made them go wild.
Well, he's not just a Baptist, he's a Southern Baptist. A Southern Baptist. They hate, yeah. Listen, I gotta run for our break, but listen, message me all that information on Mike Church. I have lost touch with Mike Church. And yeah.
By the way, I put it off that event until after the holidays. I think it's too early.
That's a wise thing to do. All right, take care, Cynthia. Take care. No, I know you didn't. That's great. Cynthia has invited me to speak at an organization in MAGA Martin County. That's what she was referencing there. Okay, now we'll take the break. After the break, we'll get back to the calls. Before I take the calls, I'll tell you what they hate the most, these lefties, about MAGA Mike Johnson, our new Speaker of the House. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on the Steve Kane Show.
Oh my goodness, guys. Now, guys, don't forget, there's a link pinned to the top of the chat. The Mighty MAGA Lion. I got a huge shipment of these going out this morning when I get off the air. If you order your Mighty MAGA Lion during today's program, during the live stream, it will go out in this morning's batch. I had a big order that I was sending out already today, and then I woke up from my live stream yesterday. There were just a massive number of orders, and I was up this morning before I came to the radio station boxing them all up. And they're going to get mailed out this morning. But if you order during the live stream, your Mighty MAGA Lion will be added to that shipment and will go out this morning. So go to MightyMAGALion.com and order yours. Or just click that link right at the top of the chat if you're watching live. but if you order during the live stream today, your Mighty Mega line will get shipped out this morning, as well as all of you who ordered during my live stream yesterday afternoon. They're all boxed up and ready to go. I just have to go home and pick them up. But if you order during the live stream, they will get added to today's shipment. So the link is pinned right to the top. These make great Christmas gift. And we did not know this when we designed the Mighty MAGA line. This is the only Trump-inspired merchandise that has the MAGA hat, which also has 45 on the side. It's pretty cool. Makes a great Christmas gift for yourself or anyone on your Christmas gift-giving list. MightyMagaline.com. It will go out this morning. All right? So order yours. Oh, I love my Mighty Mega Lion. And this one here, I've been taking this to and from the radio station every day for weeks and weeks. And look how great he looks. Very well made, high quality. Yeah, we'll be back to the calls. I'm first going to tell me in the chat real quick, what do you think the media and the liberals hate most about MAGA Mike Johnson? I'm going to say when we get back from the break, but what do you guys think? Mighty MAGA Lion. I haven't given him his own individual name. This is the first one that was made. So, all right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Now, if you or someone you know have neuropathy, you need to call Lighthouse Medical. I tell you, neuropathy is living torture. It makes life really unlivable, and those with neuropathy, it's a disability, find themselves in bed almost 24 hours a day, every day of the week. The symptoms are awful. Your doctors will tell you there's no treatment. Your neurologist will tell you there's no treatment, and that's just not true. Lighthouse Medical Center, we found Lighthouse Medical Center because of Steve's neuropathy, and, he had all these symptoms. He had the numbness, the pain, the burning, the tingling, the muscle weakness, the dizziness, and all the others. And the dizziness in particular, we had our cruise coming up, and Steve's like, I don't know how I'm going to go on the cruise with this neuropathy. I can't get out of bed. I got this dizziness. I'm going to go on a ship for a week. So, actually, I found Lighthouse Medical, not Steve. And Steve went over there, and boom, his neuropathy symptoms, they're gone. And you know what? They have not returned. Now, his flu or bronchitis, now that's a different story. That's a different story because that's what Steve has right now. But his neuropathy has not returned. It's amazing. And no matter where you're located, they can help you. If you can't make it into their office in Pompano, that's okay. If you're out of town, out of state, or maybe in town and can't make it in, if you have neuropathy, you're probably not driving, okay? They can still help you. Also, they have a new treatment for hair loss for both men and women. When I say men and women together, I started to say when. That's the second time that's happened this week. But they have a hair restoration treatment that works for both men and women. It's non-invasive, non-surgical, and it's painless, and it works. Give them a call. Make sure you mention you heard them on the radio, and it's a no-charge consultation, all right? Online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. Okay, this is what they hate the most. Those of you on hold, stand by. I just want to say, I don't want to tease this any longer. What I'm going to tell you is not a joke. What the liberals, what the media, what the Democrats hate the most about MAGA Mike Johnson, the new Speaker of the House. You know what it is? White, heterosexual Christian family with a white family of heterosexuals that don't have any preferred pronouns, okay? And that drives them nuts because the liberals believe there are two types of people. This is what the left believe. There are two types of people in America today, according to the liberals. Do you know what those are? Oppressors and the oppressed. And if you're white and you're living the gender you were born in, you're an oppressor. And the left have this belief that white people are no longer supposed to have a part in our society. And they see this guy who is as white as a saltine cracker with a white family, who's a Southern Baptist. Everyone in his family is white. He doesn't have an interracial marriage, and they're all living the gender that they were born in. And he's not one of these liberal elitists that's on the take like Mitt Romney and the rest. That freaks them out. White, heterosexual male, white, heterosexual family, flipping them out right now. All right? That's that. That's what they hate most about this guy. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, this is Chris from Boca Raton.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. This young man is second Trump coming up. He's beholden to nobody, and that's one of the reasons why they don't like it. He doesn't have any. They say he can't raise funds. The reason why he can't raise funds is because he doesn't accept funds.
Yeah.
Legit.
In fact, and that's a qualifier. You know, Mitt Romney was freaking out. I guess experience doesn't matter. That's right. We don't want somebody that's been up there that's on the take like you, Romney.
And I have a question for you, for a lawyer or anybody. Pelosi put those people in jail. Can he, as a speaker, take them out?
I don't know, because they've already been processed through the justice system, right? So he doesn't have the power of that. I mean, no. So that's already, yeah.
We don't know. Maybe we could ask.
No, we know. They've gone. No. They've already gone through judges and everything. But I'll tell you, one thing he could do is maybe charge Nancy Pelosi with a felony for tearing up the State of the Union. He's talked about that before. I've got some audio on that I'm going to play on the program today. But he after Nancy Pelosi tore up the State of the Union, he did a television interview, and Mike Johnson said that Nancy Pelosi committed a felony when she did that. And I don't know what the statute of limitations is on that, but
he's on the judicial committee at one time, and he was on TV several times. Nobody recognizes him, though.
Yeah. And I don't know about the J6ers, but I do know this. You may not have heard this. Jamal Bowman, he's the Democrat that pulled the fire alarm. He's been charged with a crime for that. He's facing prosecution for pulling the fire alarm now, because he was trying to shut the government down, interrupt government business. It was a one-man insurrection, and certainly Mike Johnson can push to have that prosecuted properly.
People say there's no God. Don't listen. There is a God.
I mean, this is when do you think? I'm telling you, when do you think Matt Gaetz and Donald Trump knew Mike Johnson was going to be the speaker? Was this part of their plan all along?
I thought the same way that other lady was thinking. And I told my daughter that yesterday. This is a nice setup. Trump came out of the woodwork beautiful. This is Trump's game. He wrote the book.
Yeah, it's too good to have been an accident.
No, this is all planned. She's absolutely right, that young lady.
And you know, another thing, they got his name placard above the speaker's office like so fast. When was that made? They didn't make it right then during the vote. Speaker, you know what I'm talking about?
You're getting to the nitty-gritty. I'm telling you, good.
Yeah. All right, take care. Well, I appreciate it. It's nice to have fans in Boca. All right. You know, Boca is pretty liberal, although it's not as liberal as it used to be. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Pete from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, I'm sorry I lost you all there. We got a dead spot in our house, and I just happened to walk through.
Oh, okay. That happens.
Anyway, I just, I was, my heart lifted yesterday when Mike got in there, and I feel like they know they're not going to be able to sway him over to the dark side, and I think they fear him quite, a bit, and he's going to get a lot of repercussions, just like Donald Trump, and I hope him and President Trump and the other guys get in line and support.
Oh yeah,
Trump.
There's no doubt in my mind that President Trump, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene orchestrated this whole thing with Mike Johnson. with Mike Johnson, and this is one of the most important swamp draining events that have happened, and there needs to be an appreciation for what President Trump did here. There are other former presidents that are around, right? Not just Jimmy Carter in hospice. You got Obama, you got Bush. You know, former presidents are out of the loop completely, especially after one term. Here you have a guy who's had one term, and he is still the most powerful person in Washington, and he just launched a coup, removed the Speaker of the House, and plugged in a friend of his that is his hand-picked choice for that position. The President Trump's book, when he's done with his second term, will be The Art of the Political Deal, and this is an example of that. For him to have this much power and influence is a confirmation that those in the House of Representatives know he's going to win in 2024.
Yes, I believe that, honestly. And, I seen a thing. He'd already put out a memo that by the end of the week of December 13th, they're going to have all 12 of these appropriations done.
Mm-hmm.
Take a break until they do it. He's on the job, and that's what we need, somebody on the job instead of Kevin McCarthy hiding there.
Well, yeah, Ukraine's going to have to start footing their own bill. Listen, this first appropriations is kind of like already there, so I don't know if he's going to stop the Ukraine funding on this one or the next. But if Ukraine gets money this next go-around, it'll be the last time.
Well, that needs to stop.
I agree.
That was generated to line Joe's pockets, and who knows else? Who else?
Well, I'll tell you, Mike Pence. Anytime you hear Mike Pence talk, he's pushing war in Ukraine, so he must be getting paid too.
Well, I'd say a lot of them are, William. Maybe even I never have understood why Ron DeSantis took off and went overseas there that time.
What, to Israel?
He go see it and story behind it.
He did. He went to Israel, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to show that he's got international expertise. Hey, listen, appreciate the call, man. Thanks so much. All right, now we'll get back to the calls after the break. Now, after the top of the hour, if you'd like to call in, please do 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you're listening to us. And what we're doing today is celebrating this incredible move of President Trump giving us this MAGA speaker. This is like a miracle that happened. And President Trump and Matt Gaetz deserve all the credit, with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but it's a miracle. When we get back, I'm going to play some audio of Mike Johnson that is just amazing and beautiful, and he brings up a lot of good things. So stay tuned for that. Also, don't forget, Medicare open enrollment is here. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She will review your Medicare policy. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare policy. No matter where you are in Florida, Debbie at I Will Advisors can help. She'll make sure your prescriptions are covered next year, your specialists, your physicians, and everything else. If you have a supplement, she'll make sure you're not paying too much. If you need a supplement, she'll make sure you get the right one. Her number, 954-753-8080. She and her family have been with us since 1994 on the Steve Kane Show, helping listeners with their Medicare. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080 for Debbie at I Will Advisors. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
Oh, this is just a great day, guys. Just a great freaking day. This is better than we ever could have dreamed. Better than we ever could have dreamed. We've never had something like this. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. Have you guys seen it now? YouTube has made this update. Anytime I say, please subscribe to my channel, the subscribe button should light up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Did you see it light up? Same goes for the like button. It should light up. They got this AI thing going on. Make sure you like the video. When you like the video, that helps spread the word about the channel. Did you see it light up? Oh, man. It may not do it on all devices and platforms just yet, but they are unveiling it to everybody. It's pretty cool. A never emmer. Yes, Freedom Soup. Yes. If you're already subscribed, it may not light up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Click that subscribe button and subscribe. Now, again, if you're already subbed, it may not light up. I don't know. And, of course, make sure that you like the video. Click that like button and like the video. Like I say, I don't know if it works on all devices or just desktop. I don't know. But it's brand new. I just got a notice from YouTube about it yesterday. I mostly watch YouTube on my television, so I don't see those buttons. I don't know. I think people make too much about AI. They you know, it's got a fancy name. Everybody thinks about Terminator. I know we were talking about that earlier in Maine, Bonnie. Oh, Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz deserves an award for giving us this MAGA Speaker of the House. It's just stunning. It doesn't light up. Yeah, if you've already hit the like and are subbed, it probably doesn't light up. You probably have to have not liked the video or subscribed for it to light up. That's correct, I would guess. Oh, man, I am starving. But I got 2 hours to go till I can eat. CJ, yeah, I'll mention it again. If you're not, please subscribe to the channel. Click that subscribe button and subscribe. And, of course, like the video. Make sure you like the video. When you like the video, it helps spread the word that you like the channel. So click that like button. Has anyone seen the like or the sub button light up? I've seen it on one channel. It's not open to everybody yet, Slick. But it will be. It's brand new. So it's not available to everyone yet. I saw it on one channel that I watch. It's like a neon light that goes around the buttons. Eric has seen it. Oh, man. Okay. All right, just getting set up for the next segment. We're coming back shortly. We got about 30 seconds, 45 seconds, we'll be back. All right, coming back.
Blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right, it sure is. Hour number 2 has begun. That first hour was like a blink of an eye. It went by so quick, I cannot believe. Our number 1-888-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Call us on hold. Stand by. We are celebrating the biggest, boldest, most miraculous political move ever made by a president who is not currently in office, Donald Trump. Donald Trump, with Matt Gaetz, removed Kevin McCarthy, in my opinion, with the plan all along to plug in MAGA Mike Johnson as the speaker. And now we have a man as MAGA as it can possibly get as the Speaker of the House. I want to play this clip. This is our Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. A couple years ago, he was on Tucker Carlson when Tucker was on Fox still. And this is after the State of the Union when Nancy Pelosi tore the State of the Union in half and threw the papers around like a lunatic. And, you know, one of the things about Mike Johnson that is amazing is that he is an attorney. He's a Christian, conservative, constitutionalist attorney. And he gave Tucker Carlson his legal expertise so far as Nancy Pelosi ripping up the State of the Union. And Ms. Nancy could be in some trouble. Listen.
So you were obviously watching there at the State of the Union. When you saw the speaker rip the president's speech into pieces, did you take that as a sign of politeness, as an expression of kindness and friendship?
No, of course not. I mean, it was a shameful display. It was stunning, really, to many members sitting in the House. It was totally unprecedented. It was shameless, and it was also unlawful, Tucker. You know, a lot of people have been talking about this the last 48 hours, and I did a little legal memo to point out to my colleagues that she actually committed a felony when she tore that paper up. It wasn't just any copy of the State of the Union address. It was the copy, the original. And we have over 2 centuries of custom and tradition, and of course the Constitution that calls for the State of the Union address, that when the president delivers the copies to those top legal officers, the 2 top legislative officers in that co-equal branch of government, those are the official documents of the House, and if you tear those up, you violated a specific statute in the criminal code.
Wow. Okay, now this is, don't you love this guy? That's our Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson. She committed a felony. Now here's the thing, you know, the State of the Union, while it is required by the Constitution, the State of the Union is not when the president talks. It's the document that he hands to the Speaker and the President of the Senate. Okay? They only do the speech making since television began. They never really did that before. There was no, it may have happened, but it's not a requirement. That's just a thing for free TV time. And I've got some questions here from MAGA Mike Johnson on this. What is the statute of limitation on the destruction of government property? Also, that was a premeditated event. And if you go, I remember this at the time, if you go back and watch Nancy Pelosi, the State of the Union is a pretty thick speech. She took, I can't remember how many piles, because it's been a while since I watched it, but she took the speech and she put it in separate piles on her desk. Remember that? And then she tore it after it was over. And the reason she put it in different piles is because she had rehearsed this with her staff. And it was the whole speech was too thick for her to tear. So she had to do it in smaller piles so she could tear it for the effect. So this isn't just a felony. This is a premeditated felony where she has co-conspirators involved from the rehearsals that had her put it in the piles. So we may have a whole staff of people around Nancy Pelosi who conspired in this federal felony, the destruction of government property. And yeah, in fact, it's even a little bit more than that. She didn't just destroy government property and conspired to do that with a group of people. That is part of the historical record of the United States. Maybe we need to get the archives involved, like they're after Trump. Right, when they broke into Mar-a-Lago. There's a lot going on here with this. Now, I know, pretty good stuff, isn't it? Don't you love this guy? And, you know, primarily, his background is that of an attorney. And he's not one of those attorneys that go to law school like Joe Biden or Geraldo and never practice law. He has been a practicing attorney working for the most Christian, conservative, biblical, legal organizations out there. I'm going to talk about that and give some examples of that as the show goes on maybe. But he's going to be doing a lot of interviews. And at some point, it may not be this week, but he's going to start doing a lot of interviewing on the Sunday shows and things this week, I'm sure. Eventually, interviewers, at least the Republican ones, the conservative ones like Eric Bolling and people like that, are going to start asking MAGA Mike Johnson. It's getting easier to say. At first it was a tongue twister, MAGA Mike Johnson. I had to say it slow, MAGA Mike Johnson. Now I could just say MAGA Mike Johnson. It's his name, Speaker of the House. Eventually they're going to start asking him his legal opinions on these sham court cases against President Trump and the criminal prosecutors and the criminal attorney general and the criminal judges. And this is a guy that has a lot of credibility and a lot of respect. And when that starts happening, we're going to see things take a big dramatic turn in Trump's favor in these legal cases. And I cannot wait for that. You know, I talked at the top of the show at 6, this lunatic judge in New York who called President Trump to the stand. How dare he? Lunatic. I wonder what he has on under that robe. Wouldn't you be curious? I bet he doesn't even dress properly, like as a professional. That big to-do yesterday, calling Trump to the stand, holding him in contempt, fining him $10,000, all this nonsense. Then he didn't believe Trump, thinks Trump lied on the stand and all that. It's not a coincidence that happened at the same time that MAGA Mike Johnson became Speaker. Okay? It was done as an attempt to distract and hijack the news cycle away from this great moment, and also a deliberate attempt to try to bring Trump down as if just he's some mortal, that he's a weakling, that he's not a Superman. Okay? There was a lot of conspiracy going on there, and I'm very curious. Who's that judge talking to? Wouldn't you like to know? Do you think someone should look into this judge in New York and find out who he's communicating with over his phone and electronically? Is he in communication with anyone in Washington or anyone who works in Washington? I'd like to know. Because there's no way that lunatic weirdo judge is calling all the shots here to have something in play like that going on. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our first break of this hour. We'll come back with some of your calls, and there's a lot to cover as well with MAGA Mike Johnson. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. We'll take our break and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. Don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean, calling from Boca Raton.
I'm just getting organized for the next segment, guys.
I listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me.
Now, as I was saying earlier, we got a huge number of orders during my live stream yesterday for the Mighty MAGA Lion. I got a big shipment going out this morning. When I get off the air, I'm going home and picking them up. If you order your Mighty MAGA Lion during today's show, your Mighty MAGA Lion will be shipped out today, this morning, with the rest that are going out. There's a link pinned to the top of the chat if you're watching live. There's also a link in the video description. Or just go to MightyMAGALion.com. MightyMAGALion.com. These are limited edition, okay? And they are great Christmas gifts. And remember, this is the only Trump-inspired merchandise like this where they're wearing the MAGA hat, right? And he's cute. Very well made. This one here is the first one that was made. And I've been carrying this around, taking it to and from the radio station and home and all over the place for a long time. And look, he looks like brand new because they're well made, high quality, very durable, and the stuffing inside is perfect. So again, if you order your Mighty MAGA Lion during the live stream this morning, it will go out this morning with this huge batch that I'm sending out. All right, let me get organized here. All right, here we go. We're back.
FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies.
All right. You know, a few weeks ago, I was over at Dr. Appleton's office. I was in the parking lot. And there was this guy. I rode my MAGA Scooter 2.0 to Dr. Appleton's office. You know, I got a Vespa. And I got a pretty fancy Vespa, too. If you have not seen it, it's a limited edition Vespa. It's pretty, it's you know, I paid a little extra. It's like the only thing I've ever bought myself, really. And this guy was staring at me, and I got kind of nervous. I thought he was eyeing my people. Anytime I'm out on my MAGA Scooter 2.0, people come up to me to talk about the Vespa. And the guy was just looking kind of weird at me, and I thought, maybe he's going to steal my Vespa. I don't know. But he came up to me. He was a listener and of the program, and he was telling me that Dr. Appleton just saved his life, that he had, I can't remember exactly what his issue was, but it involved nerve damage that was causing him a lot of pain. And he said, Brian, I heard you talking about Dr. Appleton and the laser wave pain treatment. I was so skeptical, but I was suffering so much. I came here, and boom, my pain's gone. He was coming in for a follow-up visit. Yeah, the laser wave pain treatment works. And, you know, Dr. Appleton performs all the treatments himself. Isn't that amazing? Not an assistant. He performs all the treatments himself. There are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime, no shots, nothing, no drugs. That's a big one. You know, when you take pain medication, you're not fixing the problem. You're just masking it. All right? And you can make it worse because pain is telling you don't do that with your body, and you mask the pain, you're still doing it. It works on so many different types of pain: bursitis, arthritis, work injuries, sports injuries, neck pain, back pain, knee pain, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, rotary tears, herniated discs, acute pain, chronic pain. It's a long list. Dr. Appleton's my chiropractor, and he wants to be your chiropractor too. Remember, appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill from Sanford. How are you?
All right. What's up, Bill?
First of all, I'm happy that you're happy, and I'm happy. That makes me happy, and I think that makes a better program. For me, I like you happy. And I do have how did they get 100% of all the Republicans, and when did that ever happen last time? That's what impressed me.
Well, I'll tell you, my guess would be there's two things in play. One of them, Trump did this, okay? And they a lot of these guys in the House are afraid to oppose Trump because they'll be out of office. He'll work against them. Because remember, they tried to push that Soros guy, Immers, on us. Trump came out of the courtroom, said no, and ended that. So there was that was some of it. And also, it's been 3 weeks. They haven't been able to pass any of these bills, so their donors are freaking out. They owe their donors money because they haven't passed the bills. So there was a lot of pressure from that too.
There will be 100% votes on anything that's coming forward through Mike Johnson.
No, probably not too much. But I'll tell you this: Biden's in trouble. Okay, not only are we going to have Hunter Biden testifying, it's not going to be just behind closed doors and we don't see it. I think we're going to see Hunter Biden testify in Congress on television live because of Mike Johnson.
Oh yeah, because that was promised by McCarthy.
McCarthy's a liar. We're going to see an impeachment too, quick.
Absolutely. This Johnson's going to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I just wish that we know. Will they get one? Will they get to 117?
I don't know. I don't know. Listen. Here's the thing about Congress. Everybody hates Congress. I don't follow the day-to-day play-by-play of these different things. I mean, first off, it drives you nuts. And this whole speakers battle. I was getting kind of tired of it myself. I don't really. It's that thing you don't want to see how the sausage is made. It's too detailed, too much minutia. I just don't enjoy following the day-to-day movings in the House of Representatives. I think it's boring. So we're not going to get 100% vote on our stuff, but he's going to get a lot of things through. And I know they're saying, well, the Democrats still control the Senate. And you got Biden. The House of Representatives is the most powerful part of the Congress, and because they control the money and how it's spent. They control the U.S. Treasury spending, and that gives them tremendous amounts of power. Now they got to make deals, okay? They'll do wheeling and dealing, and he may make a deal to give them their continuing Ukraine funding on this next go around to shut down the border and retake the part of Texas that's being occupied by the cartels. He's going to make deals like that, but he's going to get the stuff done. And that's exciting.
I think he has to make a deal to give some money to Ukraine, but after that, it's going to go less.
Well, the money for Ukraine is what he is, because they're all stealing money from it. He's going to use the Ukraine funding as a powerful tool of collusion to get his agenda through, would be my guess. And I'm okay with that.
Well, I like to see a lot of money going to Israel because they need these missiles to protect in case Hezbollah from the north starts getting involved in a war.
Yeah.
That's what I think Netanyahu is doing right now. He may be playing them by getting ready to go into the tunnels at the same time preparing and setting up
those tunnels. My father was in the Marines in Vietnam, and his job was going in those VC tunnels. And oh my goodness,
I didn't do anything.
Oh my goodness, and he's told me some stories about those tunnels. Going into those tunnels is not like you see on TV what they're showing. It is very dangerous, very scary. And you got to be a special kind of person to go after the enemy in those tunnels. And I'm watching all these people in the media telling us how bad it's getting for the Palestinians. They're out of fuel. And you're not going to get sympathy for the Palestinians after what Hamas did, their army did at that music festival. I'm sorry. No one's going to feel sorry. They released these old lady hostages. What about the Instagram model that they've been raping? What about the girl on the motorcycle they nabbed? Why are they only releasing the old ladies and not the young, good-looking ladies? Why do you think that is? These jerks.
It's a shame. It's a shame. I just hope that Netanyahu can pull this off because he got caught. He got caught with his.
Israel should retake Gaza, deport all the Palestinians to the Muslim countries, and never give it back. That's it. I mean, what they did is. It's just beyond imagination.
All right.
All right. Well, take care in Sanford.
Kathy, hope she's doing well.
Okay, we'll do. Sanford, Florida. That's where George Zimmerman lives. That's right. Oh, man. All right, we're coming up on our bottom of the hour break. Callers on hold. Stand by. And, guys, don't forget, because we're no longer on the AM. We added a station in Miami. And to listen to us on the radio in Boca, we're on all FM now. All FM. In Boca, listen to us on 95.3 FM. In Fort Lauderdale, 96.9 FM. In Palm Beach, where I'm at right now, Palm Beach Gardens, 95.9. On the Treasure Coast, 106.9 FM. And in Miami, 104.3 HD3. Okay, guys, check that out. And if you missed any of those, just go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. All right, and the stations are listed there, trueoldiesfla.com. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. We've just begun, but we're halfway through the show already. Oh, my goodness, where is this show gone? Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be back after this.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right.
We got I'll play one of the seasonal pre-mades for next break.
You do what? Oh, yes. Yes, I forgot. I'm going to go through a little bit of Mike Johnson's background when we get back from the break. I mean, this is just crazy. Well, I just got a text from my wife, and people have been ordering the Mighty Mega Lion during today's show. She's been boxing them up and getting them ready. So I have a big shipment of Mighty Mega Lions that are going out this morning. I'm taking them to the post office. If you order during the stream today, if you order during the live stream today, your Mighty Mega Lion will be mailed out this morning with this huge shipment I'm sending out. Okay, Kathy has been boxing them up this morning for the ones that have come in during the show. If you're watching live, there's a link pinned at the top of the chat. There's a link in the description, or go to mightymagalion.com and order yours, guys, okay? It makes a great Christmas gift. mightymagalion.com, and it will go, if you order during the live stream, it will go out this morning. Okay, Kathy is boxing them up now. Well, click on the link and it'll tell you. All the information about the line is right there on the webpage. Just click the MightyMagaLion.com link. MightyMagaLion.com.
Big news, you don't have to wait for Black Friday to get an amazing deal on your next Bahamas cruise. Because Margaritaville at Sea is...
All right, well, coming back shortly. I'm just reading a couple articles here during the break.
They're guaranteed never to lose money, guaranteed to earn interest, and protected from stock market losses. If you want your retirement plan to work like this, go to JupiterJoe.com or give me a call at 561-743-0999. Again, JupiterJoe.com or 561-743-0999.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. I just got a text message from Al Knight, our weekend guy, and he's listening on our news station, 104.3 HD3. And it's 104.3 HD3. He's listening to us in Plantation. That's our Miami station, and he's picking us up clear as a bell on that new station in Plantation. Pretty cool, huh? All right. All right, welcome back, one and all. We've got so much to cover. We are celebrating this incredible, brilliant, five-dimensional chess move of President Trump's, picking the most MAGA man ever to be Speaker of the House and placing him in there, MAGA Mike Johnson. And hey, listen, I didn't know too much about this guy until yesterday when it looked like he was going to be the Speaker. I had seen him before and had heard of him, but I never really paid much attention to him. I saw him on TV once or twice, and I was okay, you know. But I have a negative opinion of everybody in Congress until you get to know them, right? I mean, Congress are just a bunch of bottom-feeding con men. They're all like Biden. They're all on the take doing dirty deals, and they're all rich because they take bribes, and they got everybody in their family on these fake boards and fake jobs to pay them back. It's all like Biden and Hunter. But this guy, Mike Johnson, is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to go through a little bit of his background. And this guy, one of the great things about him, he's not one of these people that has inherited their offices like Mitt Romney and others. But now listen to this. He's the oldest of four, and he has said repeatedly that he is the product of an unplanned pregnancy, which is a very important point here. Because, Mike Johnson is an evangelical Southern Baptist, pro-life, anti-abortion, anti-same-sex marriage conservative Republican. And before he was in Congress, he's an attorney, and he worked for all of these conservative, Christian, fundamentalist legal organizations that have fought to end abortion and all these other things. And so that's an important thing, So he's a product of an unplanned pregnancy. His parents divorced. Now, you had to hear him say, you had to hear that he's the son of a firefighter, but it's a little more detailed than that. His father was a firefighter who founded the nonprofit Percy R. Johnson Burn Foundation, named after his partner, the city's first African-American fire instructor and captain who died in the line of duty. Johnson's father was critically burned and disabled in the line of duty during the same fire. He is a graduate of Captain Shreve High School in Shreveport, Louisiana, and went to Louisiana State University, graduating in 1998 from law school from Louisiana State. See, now this is another thing that's important. You know, usually you go through these bios, and whenever somebody like Jean-Pierre gets a job in Washington, they go through their biography and they get all excited. Oh, she's black and she's gay and she's an immigrant. Woo! You know, what I like about this guy is that he's a regular guy. He doesn't come from one of these politically connected families. You know, Nancy Pelosi, her family were politically connected before she was born. Most of these people are that hold office and are in high levels of power, most of them are very well-connected people who have inherited their political office from a parent. And the fact that he didn't go to Harvard or Yale, you know, like I give an example with DeSantis. On the surface, DeSantis is a regular guy and came from nowhere. But then you find out that he was captain of the Yale baseball team. George H.W. Bush, George Bush 41, Bush 1, was also captain of the Yale baseball team. And in his book, Ron DeSantis, the one that I threw away in the garbage can at the Chevron, it's not a joke. My only regret about throwing Ron DeSantis' book away at the Chevron gas station when I was pumping gas is that I didn't make a YouTube video of me doing it. It's very unusual for me. I make YouTube videos of everything I do, pretty much. But I didn't that time. Oh well. But anyway, in his autobiography, he mentions Ron DeSantis about how when he was captain of the Yale baseball team, that's when he first met President Bush, 41. That's when he was recruited. This guy Johnson didn't go to one of those Ivy Leagues and wasn't recruited. Now, his legal career, this is interesting stuff here. Before his election to Congress, Johnson was senior legal counsel for the Alliance Defense Fund, now known as Alliance Defending Freedom. While working there, he wrote a very prominent brief opposing Lawrence v. Texas, which is what decriminalized same-sex relationships. So he's gone to court and argued against same-sex marriage. In 2004, he defended Louisiana Amendment 1, which defined marriage as between one man and one woman within the Louisiana state constitution. In 2015, Johnson founded Freedom Guard, a nonprofit legal ministry designed to represent Christian clients in lawsuits. See, this is amazing. You know, Mike Pence is a fake Christian. He's like Joel Osteen, okay? He's just a con man. And he goes around with all this stuff just as a way to be relevant and get elected. He's a sleaze bucket. And I'll tell you, you know what? Mike Pence, he'll never be alone with a woman that he's not married to. Why do you think his wife won't let him be alone with? Have you ever known a guy like this? A guy who will not allow, his wife will not allow him to talk to a woman or be with a woman in any type of situation unless they're married. You know, and I'm not saying this is true of Mike Pence because I don't know. But typically, a woman who has a husband that she won't leave alone is a woman whose husband has cheated on her. I'm not saying Pence has, but I know a guy. If you call him on his cell phone, he never answers. You know who answers? His wife. Why do you think that is? Exactly. And that's the kind of feeling that, you know, this thing with Pence is very weird. Very weird. Let me get back to this. Okay. In 2015, Johnson founded Freedom Guard, a nonprofit legal ministry designed to represent Christian clients in lawsuits. He was chief counsel In that role, Johnson defended government-provided tax breaks for the Ark Encounter theme park in Kentucky. Have you seen that? Oh my goodness. They have rebuilt Noah's Ark. You've seen that? It's a great tourist. So he represented them in their tax-free status. That's amazing. He represented them in other lawsuits as well. During his time in Freedom Guard, he defended the sports chaplains program at Louisiana State University from attacks that it was unconstitutional. They didn't want prayers before games. Can you imagine? In 2016, Johnson summarized his legal career as defending religious freedom, the sanctity of life, and biblical values, including the defense of traditional marriage. He's also a professor at Liberty University and teaches classes at the Helm School of Government. Liberty University, which is a Baptist university. Now, as a Catholic, I will say this, full disclosure, Catholics are not, you can't go to Liberty if you're a Catholic. They think that we're in a cult. They think we worship Mary and statues and idols and stuff. They just don't know. But that's okay. On the big picture, we agree. Let's see here. Let me get back to this. I lost my place here. In 2015, while in the Louisiana House, Johnson proposed the Marriage and Conscience Act. Similar to Indiana's Religious Freedom Restoration Act, though he denied that its legislation was based on the Indiana law, his Marriage and Conscience Act would have prevented adverse treatment by the state of any person or entity on the basis of the views they hold about marriage, meaning that if you're opposed to same-sex marriage, you couldn't be punished. Critics denounced the bill as an attempt to protect people who discriminate against same-sex marriage couples. Bobby Jindal pledged to sign the bill into law if it was passed. IBM and other employers in the region expressed opposition to the bill. I mean, so he's really been out there taking the hardcore conservative positions. In 2015, it goes on more about the bill, which I'm not going to get into. So I got more I'll share after the break, but everything about Johnson's background, he is the most conservative person I think we've ever had as Speaker of the House. More so than even Newt Gingrich. So this is really absolutely amazing. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group is on the line. Good morning, Attorney Barry Siegel.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us this morning, Barry?
All right. It's been such an honor to be, affiliated with, working with you and Steve for so many years. I don't even know how long it's been since I've been calling in and a sponsor on your show. But one of the things I was thinking about is through all these years, all the people who've come in, and I'm just talking about the Medicaid right now, not even maybe a big plan.
Oh, I just got a text. Steve's going to try to come back on today. He's still recovering, so I don't know how that'll go or if he'll be with us for the whole time after the top of the hour.
People have saved all these families over the years. We have to be talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars. The people have saved not spending down assets, going to the nursing home, and instead they've been able to protect those assets so that those assets can be used for the care of the person, whether it's upgrading to private rooms, if they're in a nursing home, having private duty days, just having that peace of mind that they have the assets and not spend down. And we talked many times about what happened to my grandmother when she had to spend down her assets. We didn't know about Medicaid planning, so we're very proud that we've been able to protect so much in assets for so many families over the years.
That's right, and the Siegel Law Group, no matter where you're located in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. And if Now, guys, I just was talking to my wife during the break. She is boxing up the Mighty Mega Lions orders that have come in this morning. So they're going to be all ready for me after the show. If you order your Mighty Mega Lion during the live stream today, it will go out this morning. Okay? There's a link in the description of the video. There's a link pinned to the top of the chat, or go to MightyMegaLion.com and order yours. If you order multiple, there's some deals there for that, by the way. You'll see when you go there. I don't know what they are offhand, but there are deals. So go to MightyMegaLion.com. If you order during the live stream, it will go out today. All right? Oh.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we're back. I just heard during the break from Steve. Steve's going to try to return to the airwaves today in the 8 o'clock hour. So you know how it is when you're recovering and you start to feel better, and I know I do this a lot. You're like, okay, let's go, and you push yourself a little too much. So I don't know how that's going to go. I was telling Steve the other day he should wait till Monday. He's going to come back today, and I've not talked to him. Everything's through text, so I don't know how he's sounding. And hopefully great and perfect, and he'll be with us for the whole last hour. But we'll find out at the top of the hour, and certainly a lot has happened since Steve last joined us. Now, I want to tell you guys, if you have neuropathy, call Lighthouse Medical Center. You know, we've been telling you guys about their neuropathy treatment for quite some time. It rid Steve of his neuropathy. They can do the same for you. All those neuropathy symptoms that have forced you to live a life of disability, they'll be gone. The numbness, the pain, the burning, the tingling in your hands and feet, the dizziness, the muscle weakness, the muscle twitching, that feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet. Maybe you have no sensation at all, no feeling at all. All those symptoms will be gone with the treatment for neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. It works. I've seen it work in Steve, and I've talked to many of our listeners who have shared their experience. And anytime I go to Lighthouse Medical Center, I'm always running into listeners that are just telling me how thankful they are that they learned about Lighthouse Medical from us here on the program. They have a new treatment for hair loss. If you are a man or woman and you are suffering from hair loss, they have a treatment that works. It's non-invasive, non-surgical. It's painless. I saw them 2 weeks ago. I went over there and watched the procedure done on a female patient. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Give them a call. You can find them online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com for both the neuropathy treatment and the hair restoration treatment, a no-charge consultation. But you've got to tell them you heard about them on the radio. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. All right, so we're celebrating this incredible victory of President Trump. He removed this is the second time since he left the White House that President Trump has removed a sitting Speaker of the House, Pelosi and now McCarthy. And this just miracle move that President Trump are putting through here is because of Matt Gaetz and his wonderful work together. We have the most MAGA conservative, Christian conservative man ever to be Speaker of the House. No one has been the real deal like this guy. And look at it. I'm going through his bio, which is just amazing. MAGA Mike Johnson, our new Speaker of the House. Now, this is Wikipedia, which is very liberal. Speaker Johnson is a member of the Christian right faction of the Republican Party. Like, that's a bad thing. Yes, he's a proud member of the Christian right, and so am I. That's a positive. They think it's a negative. He's a member of that Christian right. Well, wouldn't he be a good one? And you know, this is the thing. When President Trump returns for his second term, they're going to reelect him as Speaker, you know. In his inaugural speech yesterday for Speaker of the House, he emphasized the religious basis for his politics, including ultra-conservative positions on abortion and same-sex marriages. His political profile has been defined by his outspoken opposition to gay rights. Johnson supports a national abortion ban and opposes Roe v. Wade. Well, Roe v. Wade's gone. Sorry, liberals. They've forgotten that. While in Congress, he has supported bills outlawing abortion, both at fertilization and at 15 weeks. This is amazing. In 2015 and 16, Johnson led the Life March in Shreveport. This is great stuff. This is great stuff. He's co-sponsored the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act of 2017, which would ban abortion everywhere at 20 weeks. Protecting Pain-Capable Unborn Children from Late-Term Abortions Act, which would ban abortion at 15 weeks. And he's talking about doing this at the federal level, people. And the Heartbeat Protection Act of 2021, banning abortion after 6 weeks. His bills have in them, this is our new Speaker of the House, all 3 bills would sentence physicians who perform abortions to a minimum 5 years in prison. This is great. This guy, I mean, I don't know. How did Trump and Gates pull this off? How did this happen? I mean, I'm in shock that we have someone this conservative as Speaker. During a town hall in 2017, Speaker Johnson said he believed the climate was changing, but questioned the scientific consensus on climate change that is caused by humans. That's right. He led the committee that referred to AOC's new Green Deal as the greedy new steel described by wind and solar as the most inefficient energy sources we have. In the late 1990s, see, this guy's like Trump. You go back. In the 1990s, he was like in college, okay, in the late 1990s. He and I are about the same. We're the same age. I'm the same age as the Speaker of the House. I'm getting old. Johnson came to some prominence in the late 1990s when he and his wife appeared on television to promote new laws in Louisiana allowing covenant marriages. I'm not too sure what that means, but it says here, it would make divorce much more difficult to obtain than a no-fault divorce. In 2005, Speaker Johnson appeared on Good Morning America to promote covenant marriages, stating, "I'm a big proponent of marriage and fidelity and all the things that go with it." You know, this thing about no-fault, you often hear cited a lying statistic that says, what is the percentage? 80% of marriages in divorce or some huge number. You ever heard that number? That's not true. When in the 1970s is when no-fault marriage came in. You could get divorced for no reason at all. Before that, you had to have like proof. In fact, I was watching a guy who was the producer for Johnny Carson for like 20 years on an interview. And he said that he and Johnny Carson found out that Johnny Carson's wife had a secret apartment somewhere in L.A., and they broke into it. And he says the reason, with Johnny Carson, when he was hosting The Tonight Show, and he says the reason we broke into the wife's apartment that he didn't know that she had is because Johnny Carson thought she was having an affair with Frank Gifford, but he needed proof. And that was before no-fault divorce. So you had to have proof of infidelity to get a divorce. So they broke in and found some evidence of her with Frank Gifford. I don't know exactly what it was. Now you get a divorce for no reason at all. It's too easy. It's too easy. So that's a great thing. Oh my goodness. Now here's the big one. Speaker Johnson has supported ending American military aid to Ukraine in its war with Russia. However, after he became Speaker yesterday, Johnson said he was open to talks regarding Biden's request for additional funds to help Ukraine in their counteroffensive against Russia. See, here's the thing. We control the House. We don't have the Senate. We don't have the White House. So we can't pass legislation into law. We can't do everything on our... There's a lot of big things we need to do. So this is... And right away... You know, look at what this Trump MAGA Speaker of the House is doing. This is amazing. By the way, we'll get to the calls in just a bit, guys. I want to get all this stuff out because there's a lot of things that are great about this guy that no one's talking about. But I'll give out the number, and after the top of the hour, Steve will be joining us, and we'll get back to the calls at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. See, this is an amazing thing. Since we only control the House, which is a pretty big deal because you control the government's treasury, right? There's a lot we want to get done, but how can we pass legislation into law? We only have one chamber and we don't have the White House. So what Johnson is going to do is use the Ukraine funding, which they are obsessed with because the military-industrial complex donors are expecting to get paid out of that money, and Joe, the big guy, and all these corrupt Washington insiders are stealing money from the Ukraine funding. So he is going to use the Ukraine funding to get done what he really wants to get done, which is, listen to this, in 2017, Johnson supported Trump's executive order to prohibit immigration from 7 Muslim countries and securing the southern border. So to stop our completely open southern border and this really murder spree that's going on with the fentanyl coming in from the southern border, he is going to use the Ukraine funding to get that stopped. You want your Ukraine funding? Fine. You're going to shut down the border, do the deportations, and stop this fentanyl poisoning of our people. That's brilliant. I love this guy. I didn't know much about him till yesterday afternoon, and I've not seen or heard anything about him that I don't love. Oh, this is great stuff. Oh, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. No. Sounds like you. Yes.
Brian, I saw a clip of an old 3-year-old interview of him last night. Of him, he was on an unemployment company, and I don't know what to make of it because I'm as happy about him being speaker as you are. But he was talking about skin color. He adopted a black kid 20 years ago, and if I told you what
Mike Johnson has a black kid. Yeah. Because I saw. Well, send me that. I've not seen that because I saw a family picture. I saw a family picture of him yesterday, and I didn't see anyone black. Well, it's hard for me to do all. I can't do research while I'm on the air broadcasting, but I'll try. Okay, but okay.
And then you just like your thing.
Okay, and what? Tell me what he said in the interview.
He said that his white son was having an easier time of it than his black son, and
I just right here I just found it says let's see here. I'm reading his bio on Wikipedia. He married his wife in '99. They're in a covenant marriage. They have 4 children. Johnson has stated that early in his married life, he and his wife took in a 14-year-old African-American boy and considered him a part of their family. So they didn't adopt him, but they took him into the family. And I don't know what the deal is with that. Okay. Oh my goodness. He's got a black kid too. Oh, wait until Joy Reid finds out he's got a black kid. She's gonna melt down. She's gonna have a stroke. Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar on The View are gonna pass out.
I'm hoping you can release that.
All right. Okay, all right. Anything else people should look up other than listen to me, caller? You want to say it a 4th time? Oh, my goodness. All right, we'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK.
Yeah, and he didn't seem happy about it.
I've thought often through all these ordeals over the last couple of weeks about the difference in the experiences between my two 14-year-old sons, Michael being a black American and Jack being white Caucasian. They have different challenges. My son Jack just does. The interesting thing about both of these kids, Michael and Jack, is they're both handsome, articulate, really talented kids, gifted by God to do lots of things. But the reality is, and no one can tell me otherwise, my son Michael had a heart attack simply because of the color of his skin, and that's a reality. It's an uncomfortable.
Okay, I found the interview that he's talking about, and I know why he's upset. Maybe we'll play in a little bit.
Anniversary World Tour stars internationally acclaimed vocalist Natalie Lermite and features Piaf's most unforgettable songs, original scenography, and projections of unpublished images never seen before. Edith Piaf.
Steve, can you hear me?
November 1st.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Good morning.
Can you hear me now? All right, you sound fine. All right. Steve sounds well. I'm in shock. It is windy today. We're coming back after this, guys.
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features. Uma? Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at uma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. Callers on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve Kane rejoining us. Hey, Steve.
Boy, it is good to be back.
Oh, my goodness.
A major source of information, you know.
Well, yeah.
But I don't get to check in with you regularly. Everything goes to hell.
Well, I got to tell you, one thing about being sick, and this is what I learned, because you've been sick, very, very sick last couple weeks. Being sick, it's almost like a body cleanse. Like you cleanse your body of all these toxins and things. It's almost like a healthy thing to be sick sometimes. You sound better than you've sounded in weeks. That's not saying much compared to the last time I talked to you, but I'll call you after the show. And hopefully you'll be with us for the full hour, because I know when I'm... Okay. Because I know... Well, I know when I'm sick and I have a healthy day, I push myself too much, and then I sometimes regret it. But a couple things, if you're on hold, We'll get to the call soon, but Steve hasn't been here in a while. So before we get into the great... Yeah, well, before we get to the great news about MAGA Mike Johnson and this incredible, the biggest political move that President Trump has ever made was with this. We'll get to that in a minute. Yesterday, I did something that it would shock you, okay? I was on eBay, and I found photographs of you for sale on eBay. And I actually bought them. They were like $22 each. They're both in, I can... Well, I'll tell you, they're not even autographed, but there's some autographed pictures of you on eBay, too, that are a little pricier, but I can get your autograph for free. But I bought 2 photographs of you on eBay. They were over $22 each, and I can get free pictures of you all the time, right? These pictures, the reason I got them, there's 2 of them. One is of you, and one is of you and Al Rantel. Remember Al Rantel, guys? Yes, an openly gay conservative in the 90s on the radio. These are professional photographs that were taken by, I don't know, a newspaper person or something, and they were in our old studio at the old 1400 WFTL, which no longer exists, in 1991. And the reason I got the pictures, it brought back a lot of memories seeing the old studio, and you could even see a sign on the door that said, with the call-in numbers, and it says dial star 385 for Bell South Mobility users and pound 385. I forgot the name of the other cell phone company, because back then we had to have special toll-free lines for people on cell. It just brought back a lot of memories. But anyway, the pictures are on the way. I'm gonna get copies made, and then I'll give you. I'm gonna keep the originals, but I'm gonna get copies made and give them to you. Steve, these are like I'm not kidding you. These are like museum quality. They are black and white, but hey, these are This is like if you went to the Museum of Radio and Broadcasting History. These are the types of. One of them is the photographer is like a brilliant photojournalist. Okay, one of them is you taking a call. And you're hitting the phone button, and the other one is you doing a spot with Al Rantel in the still photograph. But I can't believe I spent almost $50 to get 2 pictures of you, which I can get for free anytime. But anyway, I know it's insane. It means that people want to buy your picture, and your autograph is going for more than that. But I'm not going to pay for your autograph. I'll just get you to sign for free. Okay. But let's get up to date on the news of the day. What has happened, what President Trump has done, and then I found that audio that the caller before the top of the hour was talking about. What President Trump has done in the House of Representatives is the most complex and successful political move that any president not in the White House has ever pulled. This guy, Steve, that's the new Speaker of the House, is as MAGA as Trump. This guy is the most evangelical Christian Southern Baptist MAGA man that exists. Plus, we find out he's got a black son, which is really, when Whoopi Goldberg and Joy, I did not even know he had a black son until that caller, and I found the interview the guy was talking about, which I'll play shortly. He did an interview on public television talking about his black son and his white son. I'll play it for you coming up, and maybe because you have black sons, so maybe you can relate to what he says. When they start talking about Johnson today, Whoopi, Joy Behar, Joy Reid, all these liberals in the media probably don't know he's got a black son, so they're going to be calling him racist all day today. All right. At some point, these liberals are going to find out that he's got a black son. Heads are going to explode. Eyes are going to bleed. And it's going to be in high definition 4K on your televisions. These liberals, Steve, let me play this audio. He gave an interview on public television. This is MAGA Mike Johnson is what Matt Gaetz calls him. Oh, hold on. I lost the interview. Hold on. I'll pull it up. Okay. I'll pull it up in just a second. he has boys and girls, but he's got a black son and a white son. And he did this interview on PBS talking about the different experiences of, okay, that's it. Okay, I found it. Of his black son versus his white son. And I think it's interesting, and maybe you'll have some comments on it. Okay, I'm vamping as I'm queuing it up. Here we go.
Between my two 14-year-old sons, Michael being a black American and Jack being white Caucasian. They have different challenges. My son Jack has an easier path. He just does. The interesting thing about both of these kids, Michael and Jack, is they're both handsome, articulate, really talented kids, gifted by God to do lots of things. But the reality is, and no one can tell me otherwise, my son Michael had a harder time than my son Jack is going to have, simply because of the color of his skin. And that's a reality. It's an uncomfortable, painful one to acknowledge. But people have to recognize that's a fact.
What should we do about that?
I think that we really do need systematic change. I think we need transformative solutions. I think we're at a moment where we can begin to do more to form that more perfect union, as it says in the first line of the...
Okay, that's it. So he says his black son has a harder time than his white son in society, and I can see that. They live in Louisiana. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Steve?
I don't know how to respond to that. First of all, I don't have a good cross section.
Because you don't have a white son.
I don't have a white son. I plead guilty. But I have found raising a whole bunch of black children, mostly female, and they have had no trouble whatsoever. And of course, I've got the one male son who's the apple of my eye, and he has always done well. And people love him. He gets along well with everyone.
Yeah, but do your black sons ever get stopped for driving while black or anything? I mean, I wonder what he's talking about.
No, I don't know what he's talking about. These people are all just race.
I don't know. I think it's... Well, the fact that he is...
To you,
yeah,
can create something out of it, but it's never been a factor in our family. And as I say, I have two black
sons and one black daughter. Yeah, really. Yeah, it's true. Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, this guy, and this is another thing I like about him. This guy doesn't wear this stuff on his sleeve. You know what I mean? He's not one of these... I didn't know he had a black son until that guy called me. I didn't even hear this yesterday. This guy, Steve, is the most conservative MAGA person that is... Most conservative guy ever to be the Speaker of the House. More conservative than Newt Gingrich. He's an evangelical Southern Baptist who lives that Southern Baptist evangelical life and principles.
He had the black son with the...
It's adoption, apparently. Yeah, it's not. Because I saw a family picture of him, and it was all white yesterday. So I don't know. It was his wife and some younger children than this. So I don't know where the black son is and what the current state is and why he wasn't in the family picture. I don't know. But I'm very happy for the liberals not to know that he has a black son for 2 or 3 days. I want him to spend 2 or 3 days on television telling us what a white racist he is, and then find out. You know what I mean? And then have to deal with it after the fact. It's gonna cause meltdowns. All right, listen. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our first break of the last hour and be back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way, too. Go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code Kane to check out K-A-N-E and buy your MyPillow 2.0.
Yeah, when I get these pictures of Steve, I'll show you guys. They were mailed out yesterday.
716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Big news, you don't have to wait for Black Friday to get an amazing deal on your next Bahamas cruise. Because Margaritaville at Sea is giving you a sneak peek of their best sale of the year right now for a limited time. Get a 3-day, 2-night cruise to the Bahamas starting at just $89 for 2 guests, plus get up to 30% off all specialty dining, beverage packages, shore excursions, and more. This exclusive Black Friday sneak peek only lasts a few days, so go to margaritavillatsea.com and book today to save on the biggest sale of the year.
Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise. And you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited. But the rest of you are. We leave April 27th on board the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of celebrity cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties. We'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation at 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian, Steve back, and it's Christmas shopping season now, and there are great specials going on at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. There's so many great ones. I'm just going to pick one at random. See, I have most every MyPillow product there is, and I live in a MyPillow home. And I want to talk about the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper 2.0 with temperature regulating technology. And, we had a couple of cold nights last week, or was it the week before? And it was my first time on the mattress topper 2.0 with the cold nights. During the summer, it keeps you perfectly cool. During those cold nights, it keeps you perfectly warm. I don't know how Mike Lindell did it, but it's amazing. And I have purchased 3 of the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper 2.0s. We have one for our marital bed, one for our guest bed, and then I got one for my daughter at her new house in California. And we actually got it for her sleeper sofa, which is where I'm going to be sleeping when I visit. And I wanted to sleep in comfort, so I'm not going to sleep on some sofa bed without a MyPillow mattress topper on it. It's 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at MyPillow.com. It'll change the way you sleep. If you think you've had a great night's sleep before, you have not experienced a real night's sleep until you've slept on the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper 2.0. It's a major upgrade on the previous mattress topper, I'm here to tell you. It also makes a great Christmas gift, and it comes in a perfect box for wrapping under the tree. You can also have it delivered right to the recipient. The MyPillow mattress topper 2.0, 50% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And remember, you can take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, do you want to go to the phones? What do you want to do?
Let's go to the phones, and then I have one question before the end of the show that I wanted to ask you.
Oh, okay. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Hey, Uncle Steve, I miss you as I be in Broward.
Well, I miss you too. Believe me,
And
I miss you.
you need, with that money that you make, you need to have one of those little kitty beds with the wheel on it, so when you're not feeling good, you go from your big king size to that little bed, let the kids roll you into the studio and get a long cord and put the head.
To the studio, different days.
Nice to hear you. I didn't have much to say, but what I have to say is for Friday. But I'll leave it on this note. I said that we didn't know what they were doing, Brian, Donald, and Trump, what they were doing in the trenches. We couldn't see it. They are there, okay? And Trump, without him making the move, it doesn't happen. Kevin was probably already comfortable knowing that he wouldn't be back because we could not see that we would have this guy. All of us thinking it would be Byron. Hip ha hooray, because like I said, when Nancy Pelosi went away, the wicked witch is dead. We got two birds killed now. We got our guy for the long run. Am I still on?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got our guy for the long run. The Ukraine funding will, like I say, be slowed down or impeded.
This has been take a breath. This has been a source of frustration for me through the last day or so. The big question that has been left unanswered for the last 3 or 4 days, since there's all this kerfuffle with the switching and the changing and who's going to be the Speaker of the House and all this. When I say nonsense, I don't mean to demean the process, but to me, the one issue that has not been addressed, that is the most for me, and I think I speak for Brian, but I probably shouldn't do that, is Donald Trump, this time, next time, or ever, to run for the White House, what has transpired over the last year?
Oh, yeah, Steve, so much has happened during your sickness. And, well, because the television news, all they want to do is have a war, so it'll be on television, so that's all they're talking about. They're not talking. What Donald Trump, by the way, I'll give you the last word, IB, if you got anything else before I get into this stuff with Steve.
Yeah, I'll say it really quickly, okay? Nancy Pelosi did something in public where the whole country saw turning up the papers. Rush Limbaugh taught me this, and Brian Craig made it more crystal clear. When I say arrested development, kids in grown-ups' bodies, her turning up that paper behind Trump, making that speech, proves that she should also be at least like Trump arrested and go.
Well, I said okay, IB is a man of a few thousand words, but I said the last word.
Did nothing but further confuse.
Okay, well, don't be confused. I'm going to unconfuse you. Okay, I want to talk about what IB said there. IB from Broward. I don't know if the B stands for black or Broward because he's African American. But anyway, the thing about Nancy Pelosi, I talked about this in the first hour. After that State of the Union, when Nancy tore up the State of the Union, Mike Johnson was a guest on Tucker, and I played it earlier. I can play it again. Let me pull it up and play it again because he says it better than me. And in fact, when he said this back then on Tucker Carlson's show, we played it on the air the day after because I remember playing it and I remember talking about it. But it take me a second to pull it up. But this thing with Nancy Pelosi tearing up the State of the Union is a crime, and it's a pretty serious crime. It's a federal felony. And from my understanding, I've not confirmed this 100%, but from my understanding, when it comes to that type of felony, that there's no statute of limitations on it, and she is very, very guilty. Okay, here it is. Let me pull this up, and then this is our new speaker. He's on Tucker Carlson. This was right after the State of the Union, where Nancy tore up the State of the Union and threw the papers in the air, all right?
Obviously, watching there at the State of the Union, when you saw the speaker rip the president's speech into pieces, did you take that as a sign of politeness, as an expression of kindness and friendship?
No, of course not. I mean, it was a shameful display. It was stunning, really, to many members sitting in the House. It was totally unprecedented. It was shameless, and it was also unlawful, Tucker. A lot of people have been talking about this the last 48 hours, and I did a little legal memo to point out to my colleagues that she actually committed a felony when she tore that paper up. It wasn't just any copy of the State of the Union address. It was the copy, the original. And we have over 2 centuries of custom and tradition, and of course the Constitution that calls for the State of the Union address, that when the president delivers the copies to those top legal officers, the 2 top legislative officers in that co-equal branch of government, Those are the official documents of the House, and if you tear those up, you violated a specific statute in the criminal code.
Okay, so she committed a federal felony, and there's video evidence of it. We saw it. I love this guy, Steve. And, yeah.
Problem for me, if you just might get back to my individual issue for a moment, is as with previous times that I've asked that question, I don't leave with an answer that tells me if Donald Trump is ever eligible.
Of course he is. Yeah. What's happened? What happened that I missed? What? Nothing's happened. Nothing has happened that would disqualify him. Nothing. Nothing. But listen, we'll take our break and we'll talk about that when we get back, okay? It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is back and sounding better than... If I had a recording the last time I talked to Steve and played it on the air up against today, you'd be like, what? Wow, he recovered quickly. All right, we'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Now, guys, remember, if you order today your Mighty Mega line, it will go out with today's shipment, all right? And my wife, she's been texting me during the show. All of you that have ordered during the live stream today, she has been boxing them up during the show. So there's a link in the description. There's also a link pinned in the chat, MightyMagaLion.com. If you order yours this morning during the stream, it will be mailed out this morning with today's shipment. Okay, of them. So go to MightyMagaLion.com and order yours.
You have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from this station's network. Let's drop one first for traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Check out the Moneymaker tour of the Poker Room at PBKC October 25th through November 6th, featuring over $650,000 in guarantees. 27 trophy events, including the $200,000 mystery bounty and $300,000 main event. You can also play your favorite casino table games like Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum 7 days a week. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com. The following Kia statewide sales event will be held at one location only.
Yeah, no, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Rome put the link in the chat and I pinned it. So if you click that link.
Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez. When you tell him you heard about him on the radio,
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane back for the first time in a while. And so did you see something in the news that made you worried about Trump, Steve? Because I don't know.
I've been carrying this question around with me since this one incident happened.
What incident?
I don't know. I mean, I've lost track of it.
All right.
It was an incident where everything is under the guise of the election of the speaker and all this kind of stuff. But there was one where Trump was in a position where it looked like he was closing in on the key spot, and it was over a weekend, and they announced a verdict on one of the.
No, there's been no verdicts. There's been no verdicts. No verdicts. No. Okay, there's been no verdict in the court in any of the court cases.
That's basically what I did.
Okay, no, okay. Since you've been gone, the Republican primary debate of that's done. He is over 60 points ahead of the number 2 now, Donald Trump.
This involved a rule.
You misheard something. You misheard something. While you were sick, okay, and medicated, you heard something incorrectly through a sickness haze.
Is there something about this thing that you think is missing?
No.
Keep talking around and about.
Nope. There was a case.
Let me just define
Yeah.
with the last sentence. As to Trump's ultimate eligibility for the presidency.
That's over. I think what you're talking about, a week or two ago, there were some jerks in New Hampshire that were going to try to keep him off the ballot in New Hampshire over his court cases. Those cases went to court and they came out in Trump's favor. And then at the beginning of this week, he went to New Hampshire and did this on television and registered to be on the ballot in the New Hampshire primary. So that's all settled. There's no keeping him off any ballots. Okay? Now, so far as the polls go, he's over 60 points at. Well, let me go through. He's over 60 points ahead of the nearest Republican, De Sanctimonious. And in most every poll, he is now ahead of Joe Biden. And pretty much every poll I've seen. Sometimes by 4, sometimes by 3. But he was behind in many of these polls. So his gain has been 5 to 10 in these polls against Biden. Okay, so things are going well. Then President Trump is doing something which is going to be fantastical. Even though the Republican primary is over, they're still having one more debate on NBC. NBC News is hosting a Republican debate November 8th in Miami. And President Trump has organized a rally in Miami at the same time as the Miami NBC News Republican debate. So which of course is going to trump that debate, and no one's going to care about the debate. So no, everything is fine with Trump. And so far as the speaker, Trump orchestrated this whole thing to get the new speaker. You know, so things could not have be going better. What's that? Yeah. Because because this guy, I didn't know too much about this guy, Mike Johnson. I barely even had heard of him before until yesterday, and I started learning about him. He's very tight with Trump, the new speaker. Very, very tight with Trump. Very MAGA, ultra conservative, very tight. And Trump and Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene conspired all along to replace Kevin McCarthy with Mike Johnson as Speaker. Trump was behind this whole thing. Before they made the move to throw Kevin McCarthy out as Speaker, they had already decided that they wanted Mike Johnson to be the Speaker. And everything that's been going on for the past 3 weeks has been all leading to their final goal, which happened yesterday, of getting MAGA Mike Johnson in as Speaker. Trump did that with Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Johnson. So he's got his best friend here as the Speaker of the House now, Donald Trump. And what that means is the impeachments are coming and the subpoenas are coming to Hunter, to Joe's brother, and God knows who else. And these people are going to be testifying about Biden's crimes live on television. In fact, Johnson, our new speaker, has given interviews over the last year talking about Biden's bribes, and he's very ticked off about Biden's bribes and that he takes bribes. And he actually gave a he was talking, and he says you can. He said you. I'll see if I can find this clip because I have it somewhere, but I don't have it queued up. But he actually gave an interview, and he said you can impeach a president for high crimes and bribery and misdemeanors. And when he said bribery, he emphasized heavy the word bribes because he knows Joe Biden takes bribes. So this is going to be a rough year if your name is Joe Biden. It's all coming apart for Joe Biden, thanks to Donald Trump and this new speaker. So there's going to be a major turn in events. The television news, especially Fox, are pushing everything to do with war because they think a war gives them good television ratings, which it probably does. So all these things that we're talking about, they're not talking about too much in the news because they don't want you to focus on that. They want you to focus on a war and get excited about a war and come back to Fox News because there's a war on. But President Trump, what he just did, Steve, was complete the most masterful move that any former president has ever done. He's gotten rid of two speakers. Think about it. Donald Trump has gotten rid of two speakers, Nancy Pelosi and Kevin McCarthy, and now boom, he's got his best friend, MAGA Mike Johnson, in his speaker. So things couldn't be better. We are on the MAGA movement and Donald Trump are in the best place we've been in a long time, and things could not be going better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and a lot of the this sad incident of the shooting in Maine is going to give the television news an opportunity to not cover what Trump just did here with Johnson. Okay, but yeah, of course. I think I think Trump would like people to know what he did. Yeah, I don't think anybody realizes what that really. I don't think it's really sunk in what Trump has done here. And then we got other good news. Jamal Bowman, that Democrat that pulled the fire alarm, has been criminally charged with interrupting government business now. I mean, things could not be going better. Then there's another story today. I haven't even gotten to this one yet, and this is big. This is big. Listen to this. This is being reported in the New York Post, the Daily Mail, and in many other places. Over 40, listen to this. Over 40 confidential FBI sources say there's evidence of criminal activity committed by Joe Biden, James Biden, and Hunter Biden, with accusations of the Department of Justice shutting them down. So what we have is the White House colluding with trying to cover up crimes with the Justice Department. And believe me, our new MAGA speaker is going to have hearings on this, and they're all going to be hauled in to explain themselves, including Merrick Garland. In a letter to Merrick Garland, Chuck Grassley said the sources, 40 of them, have been managed by different FBI field offices and supplied the FBI with details of crimes by the Bidens. Grassley learned that an FBI task force within the Washington field office sought to and managed to successfully shut down reporting from those sources by discrediting the information and the witnesses that were coming out detailing Biden's crimes. So we have an FBI conspiracy cover-up of Biden's crimes. It's all documented, and boom, we've got the perfect guy as Speaker of the House to get the hearings going. People are going to go to prison because of this new Speaker of the House now. People at the FBI and at the are going to go to prison. No. People are going to go to prison. people at the FBI and Justice Department, because what we found out is field offices of the FBI around the country had these witnesses, and that D.C. office are involved in an obstruction of justice cover-up for Biden. So this is beautiful. Things are all falling into piece like puzzle pieces and Legos. This is wonderful. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of the day and be right back. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals look today?
Metals looking good. The markets are showing us some strength and some support levels, as well as building higher highs and higher lows. So the markets are behaving very well. They did give us a little bit of a buying opportunity last week and the beginning of this week, but I think that's going to be evaporating very quick overnight. We saw gold trading in a range of $1,979 all the way up to $1,994 before pulling back a little bit. Yesterday, gold closed up $9.10 at $1,979.60. Silver was down 4 cents at $22.85. Platinum gained $20 at $906. Platinum has been behaving very well. It looks like it's pointing towards going much higher. Palladium down to unchanged yesterday at $1,110. As I said, gold got up to $1,994 before pulling back. Right now it's down, or up $2.40 at $1,982. This has been kind of the action we've seen for the last few days, making highs overnight or in the mornings and then pulling back a little bit, which gives us a buying opportunity. So currently gold $1,982, up $2.40. Silver up 5 cents at $22.90. Platinum up $4 at $910, and palladium down $10 at $1,100 the ounce.
Wow, everything's looking good. I wanted to ask, we were talking yesterday about gold bars, but you actually, there are very small bars that are available too that you have. What are the smallest units of gold that you have for people that may not think they have enough money to get involved in the metals, or maybe are looking for some great Christmas gifts for the kids and grandkids? What are some of the smaller units you have in gold?
We have 5-gram gold bars, and then we also have the 1 10th-ounce gold coins, which really make nice gifts.
Yeah.
Nice holders for them so that they don't get lost or something, and they make wonderful gifts. Yep.
And those 5-gram bars, they come in those little plastic cases?
The protective cases, and which certify what they are, and warranties on them and stuff.
Yeah, and those 10th-ounce coins, they're coins. They're from the sovereign mint, the American mint, all the different mints we talk about, and they're 1/10-ounce gold coin. These make great Christmas gifts for the kids, for the grandkids. And if you think you don't have enough money to start investing in the metals, you'll be shocked. Call William Youngerman or stop in and talk about these 5-gram bars. Talk to him about fractional gold. You can call William Youngerman. He opens up at 10 a.m. at 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or stop right in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we will finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great...
Back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, so Steve's back. Okay, so just to finish up, Steve, with these 40 witnesses and what's happening now with that story with the... Okay, so with everything that Trump has gone through, like when they were spying on Trump Tower, when he was running and everything else, you've heard many people say it's all that Washington Bureau of the FBI, that throughout the country, the FBI are good people, and we have these corrupt political monsters in D.C. So what the Republicans now have found out, there have been 40 whistleblowers from the FBI who have come forward from field offices around America. Okay, I'm sorry, there's been agents from field offices around America who have said that they have sworn statements from 40 witnesses detailing the crimes of the Biden family, from Joe, Hunter, and his brother, James, okay, Jim Biden. And okay, so they have 40 witnesses, FBI offices and field offices around America have 40 sworn statements from 40 witnesses detailing the Biden crimes. They have to send them to their bosses in Washington, and the Washington field office covered up and filed these things away, and nothing became of it, involved in an obstruction of justice cover-up. The agents from around the country that did all this hard work detailing the crimes have given statements to Congress about this. We haven't heard them yet, but have given statements. So we're going to have major congressional hearings with FBI whistleblowers who are going to detail how the Washington FBI office, where the bosses are, covered up this entire criminal operation of the Bidens. Steve, no one's named Biden or Clinton are going to go to prison, but there are going to be people from that Washington field office and from the Justice Department that are going to go to prison over this. It's huge, huge bombshell. It's not really being talked about in the news because of what's going on in Israel, the shooting in Maine, and the speakership. Yeah.
Well, okay, I guess.
Yeah, so this is great.
Like, all right,
Last time you were here, before you got sick, things weren't looking as good. And the time you've been sick, it's like a whole new country. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carla from North Carolina.
Hey, Carla.
Hello. I have a comment to make, and people really need to listen to what...
Uh-oh.
No, this is a good thing. Okay, President Trump... Do what?
What'd you...
Be nice to have one of those.
Yeah.
Thing.
Everything's good we've heard so far, Steve.
Okay, President Trump, when he was sworn into office, he swore in on his mother's Bible.
Mm-hmm.
That Bible came from the Hebrides Revival. People would look...
What is that? The Hebrides Revival? What is the Hebrides Revival?
It is a revival that people prayed and prayed and prayed for a very long time. Now, Trump's mother was involved in that.
Well, so what... Okay.
There was a little boy that was there. His name was Donald, who the miracle happened to. Now...
What? No, slow down. There was because I want to understand this, okay? There was a revival before President Trump was born with his mother. Was this in Scotland?
Yes.
Okay, so President Trump's mother was at a religious revival in Scotland. There was a little boy named... She was a little girl. Okay, there was a little boy named Donald, and a miracle happened with this... What miracle happened with this little boy Donald, not Donald Trump? What was the miracle?
I want everybody to look at...
But we're having a conversation. Oh my God, I hate that. That's my least favorite thing that a caller can say. Go ahead.
Just listen, okay? Now, God showed up. God showed up at this revival.
Mm-hmm.
Something that they had prayed upon because their island was in such dire straits. Okay? Well, when Trump's mother left Scotland, that's when she met Fred, which is Donald Trump's, dad. The Bible was given to Mary, who's Trump's mother.
Okay.
That is the Bible that Trump was sworn in on.
And the significance of that is what? What's the significance of being sworn on that Bible?
He took an oath on a Bible that was part of the revival. There is no way that Trump would go against his oath when he swore in on that Bible.
As opposed to a regular Bible? To
a regular Bible. People all over the world come to see that Bible.
Okay.
What I'm saying is when he took that oath of office and he swore on that Bible that when he said that the election was stolen, it's because he knew deep in his
Yeah.
He took that oath to protect and defend against enemies.
Okay, so what's the name of this revival? I'll look up the Bible story. What's the name of that revival again?
The
Herbides. Yeah. Okay, Herbides. The Herbides revival. I'll look it up. This. No, I know. I don't like it when I don't like it when a caller comes in with something and says, "Well, I can't tell you. I want people to look it up." That's like a pet peeve of mine. I hate when callers do that. Second time it happened today. We're trying to have a conversation. Well, no, I mean, if you call in a talk show to talk, you got to tell. You can't assign people reading list and homework. That's strange. But no, things could not be better. Oh, let me tell you, a couple days ago when you were out, Steve, we had Joe Thomas in studio, our financial expert, and he gave us a lot of great information. We were talking about annuities, and it's absolutely, I learned a lot about annuities from Joe Thomas the other day, which I did not know. I didn't really even know what annuities were, by the way. I've heard of them, but I never knew what they were. And he had told us that even during the Great Depression, annuities did not lose their value during the Great Depression when the stock market crashed. So not only with an annuity is your money protected, but you are guaranteed income, and you won't lose money. It's absolutely amazing. And Joe Thomas has 2 free offers for you. One, he's offering his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, for free, and he's also offering free phone consultations. So if you would like to get the book for free, go to his website, JupiterJoe.com. When you go to JupiterJoe.com, click the book link. Or you can call, and if you miss this number, just go to his website, JupiterJoe.com. The number's there. But when you call, you can also call for the book and to schedule that free phone consultation. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999 or JupiterJoe.com. Get your free book and your free consultation and talk to them about annuities. They're pretty amazing. All right, so that's it's just, Steve, there's been nothing but good and positive news. Now, so far as Israel, well, that's a mess. I mean, but I gotta tell you, the things that are going on in Israel right now are horrors beyond imagination. But I'll tell you, I think what the Palestinians did here is, I think, Steve, that, 'cause we haven't talked really. You've been gone the last couple weeks.
Let me take a guess.
Yeah.
I've known you for so long. You're going to tell me that in the long run it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, well, I don't know how it can be a good thing when so many have lost their lives. However, no, if you would consider, no, I was going to tell you something else, and you may consider it to be a good thing, and many will, and it probably. I think that the Palestinian movement as an activist movement is done. When this is, they're no longer going to be a credible activist organization, and I'll tell you why that is. It's not just that they went into Israel and kidnapped, raped, and murdered Jews, okay? But I think these pro-Palestinian protests that took place in this country scared the hell out of people. And I was talking last week, Steve, when you weren't here last week, but I was talking last week when Obama was president. There was a story that came out that talked about these hundreds of thousands of Palestinians that Obama was relocating to the United States. And the media said that's not true, it's fake news, it was debunked. And I think that the story was accurate. Because I think Americans were scared to see how many Palestinians are in American cities and in our universities around this country supporting these terrorists. And I think there's a big movement now. Palestinian terrorist. And when this is over in Israel, the Palestinians are going to have Tlaib, and that's about it. And other than Tlaib, they're not going to have any support in this country to speak of, like they've had in the past. Yeah.
Is worst public relations I've ever seen.
Oh.
Any one organization in my life.
Yeah. The Palestinians have lost all credibility, and it's about time. Absolutely. Well, listen, that's it for us today. Now, tomorrow is already Friday. Week went by fast. And on Friday, it is open phones on the program. Yep. Yeah, we call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. All right? We don't say Open Phone Friday because that was Rush's thing, and we don't want to try to steal his act like these Clay Aiken do. Yeah, exactly. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, any and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. That's tomorrow, and that's always an exciting show, and we'll have a good time. But there's a lot to celebrate today with this MAGA Mike Johnson as our Speaker of the House. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve has been here. This, of course, is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3.
All right, guys. Well, I'm out of here. Don't forget, if you order right now your Mighty Maga line, it will go out this morning. So go to MightyMagaline.com and order yours, okay? All right. Take care, guys. I will see you later, all right?